Good morning, everyone. My name is Neha Goyal, and I am the student of Chemistry Honors first year. Today, I am here to make a presentation on the topic chemical kinetics. Now, what is chemical kinetics? Chemical kinetics is that branch of chemistry which deals with the study of rate of a reaction, means the speed of a reaction, how fast or slow a reaction takes place, and the steps through which the reaction takes place. That called mechanism of a reaction, and the factors that are affecting the rate of a reaction means like temperature, pressure, concentration, and presence of a catalyst. These all things affect the rate of a reaction. Means overall chemical kinetics deals with the study of a reaction, rate of a reaction, mechanism of a reaction, and the factors that are affecting the rate of a reaction. Now, what we mean by reaction? A reaction is said to occur when reactant get converted into product. Or we can say the process when the reactant get converted into product is called reaction. Means and how we came to know that a reaction take place. When there is a change in physical state, change in color, etc. we notice means our reactant get converted into product. Like for example, H2 plus O2 gives H2O. H2 is present in gaseous state. O2 is also present in gaseous state. But when they combine, they give us water, which is in liquid state. But what we do when we did not get any hint means there is not any physical changing we see, not any color. Then we use a techniques like chromatography technique. We can see many chromatography like thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography, etc. And how the reaction take place? When the old broke of reactant broke and the new bonds are formed, product bonds are formed, then the reactions take place. Now, what are the types of reaction? Reaction can either be spontaneous reaction or non-spontaneous reaction. Now, what are spontaneous reactions? Spontaneous reactions are those reactions which take place itself or by some initiation is called spontaneous reaction. मीन्स क्या तो वो रिएक्शन खुद से हो जाए या वो रिएक्शन कुछ इनिशिएशन से हो जाए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एवोपरेशन ऑफ वाटर इन ओपन वेसल. एक ओपन वेसल रखा हुआ है, उसमें वाटर प्रेजेंट है और उसका एवोपरेशन हो रहा है, मतलब वो भाप बन के उड़ रहा है. अब ये जो प्रोसेस है ये अपने आप हो रहा है, ह्यूमन का कोई एफर्ट नहीं है, नेचुरली हो रहा है. मीन्स दिस प्रोसेस इज टेकिंग प्लेस इटसेल्फ. नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल लाइक कन्वर्जन ऑफ मिल्क इनटू कर्ड. हमें क्या करना होता है, हमें गर्म दूध में थोड़ा सा खट्टा जैसे कि क्या तो लस्सी या थोड़ी सी दही डालनी होती है और उसे रात भर छोड़ देना होता है. हम सुबह देखते हैं कर्ड बन जाती है. मीन्स वी आर गिविंग सम इनिशिएशन टू कंप्लीट द रिएक्शन. Means for the conversion of milk into curd we give the some initiation of some little amount of curd. मतलब मैंने थोड़ी सी कर्ड दी, थोड़ा सा रिएक्शन को इनिशिएट किया और वो रिएक्शन फिर खुद से चल पड़ी. ये तो नहीं है कि मैं पूरी रात बैठी उस प्रोसेस को करने के लिए. मीन्स द रिएक्शन इज टेकिंग बाय सम इनिशिएशन. नाउ सेकेंड इज नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन. मीन्स इसका अपोजिट, the reaction which doesn't take place itself or by some initiation are called spontaneous reaction. For example, rising up of water. Here you can see this is the tanker and we have to shift our water in this tank. हम सिर्फ एक पाइप के थ्रू इस वाटर को ऐसे ट्रांसफर नहीं कर सकते. We have to use a motor. मतलब ये रिएक्शन खुद से तो होगी नहीं. वी हैव टू गिव समथिंग सम अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी। अब ऐसा भी नहीं होगा कि मैं इस मोटर को एक बार ऑन करके ऑफ कर दूं और ये पानी अपने आप ऊपर चढ़ जाए, ऐसा भी नहीं होगा। तो हमें इनिशिएशन के थ्रू भी नहीं हो रही है ये रिएक्शन। हमें इस मोटर को पूरे, जब तक ये वाटर यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक शिफ्ट नहीं हो जाता, उस टाइम तक हमें इस मोटर को ऑन रखना होगा। मीन्स दिस रिएक्शन इज नॉट टेकिंग प्लेस इटसेल्फ और बाय सम इनिशिएशन, वी हैव टू गिव द एनर्जी ड्यूरिंग द होल प्रोसेस। दैट्स व्हाई दिस इज कॉल्ड नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन। और वी कैन से द बॉइलिंग ऑफ वाटर। ऐसा तो नहीं है कि मैंने गैस ऑन की और मेरा वाटर बॉईल हो गया, नहीं, वी हैव टू ऑन द गैस अंटिल आवर वाटर बॉइल्स। मतलब मुझे गैस पूरे प्रोसेस के दौरान ऑन रखनी होगी जब तक मेरा वाटर बॉईल नहीं हो जाता। दिस इज द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ नॉन स्पॉन्टेनियस रिएक्शन। Spontaneous reaction is further divided into three categories, that is instantaneous reaction, slow reaction, and moderate reaction. Instantaneous reaction. Instantaneous reaction are those reaction which take place in fraction of second. मतलब कुछ सेकंड्स के अंदर ही वो रिएक्शन हो जाती है, कुछ सेकंड तो लगती भी नहीं है कई बार। और ये जो रिएक्शन होती है इंस्टेंटेनियस रिएक्शन, ये मेनली एग्जांपल होते हैं आयोनिक रिएक्शंस के। मींस आयोनिक रिएक्शंस दैट आर टेकिंग प्लेस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ एन इंस्टेंटेनियस रिएक्शन। फॉर एग्जांपल, व्हेन silver nitrate react with sodium chloride, here the ion of Ag positive and Cl negative react together, and Na positive and NO negative 3 react together. Or one more example is explosion. We see that we have to give some amount of fire to a firecracker and it burst into a few seconds. Means this is a fast reaction. We have to give some fire and it will explode suddenly within a fraction of a second. Second example is slow reaction. The reaction which takes very long time for their completion are called slow reaction. Means those reactions which take a lot of time to complete. Sometimes it also takes years, months, days to complete the reaction. The best example of the slow reaction is rusting or corrosion. We can say rusting is nothing but the corrosion of iron is called rusting. Corrosion of metal. Now what is corrosion? Corrosion is basically the deterioration of metals with the exposure of air or moisture. Now the third is moderate reaction. The reaction which take place in between slow and fast reaction are called moderate reaction. Means those reactions which neither take place too fast and not too slow. These reactions are called moderate reaction. Now the example of moderate reaction is cane sugar plus water gives glucose and fructose. अब ये मॉडरेट रिएक्शन जो होती है वो जनरली कोवेलेंट रिएक्शंस होती है जिसमें कोवेलेंट बॉन्ड का फॉर्मेशन और ब्रोकन होता है। एंड अगर हम सिंपल डेली लाइफ एग्जांपल देखें तो बेकिंग, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ वी केक अ बेक, it will take around 30 to 45 minutes to bake a cake. Means this is a moderate reaction. Means it not even take so many long period of time and not take fraction of seconds to complete. It takes some minimal amount of time. Now the classification of reactions on the second category, elementary reaction and complex reaction. Now elementary reactions are those reactions which take place in single step are called simple reaction or elementary reaction. Elementary reaction को simple reaction भी कहते हैं. Now example, decomposition of hydrogen iodide and decomposition of ammonium nitrate. Complex reaction means opposite of elementary reaction. Means these reactions are not taking place in single step. These reactions take place in more than one step. Like it can take place in 2 steps and 3 steps, etc. For example, thermal decomposition of nitrogen pentaoxide. So in first step, nitrogen pentaoxide gives NO2 plus NO3. And in second step, NO3 gives NO2 plus half O2. If we take total, means adding 1 and 2, we get N2O5 gives 2 mole of NO2 plus half O2. Means this reaction is taking place in two steps. Now, what is mechanism of the reaction? The number of steps through which the reaction take place is called mechanism of a reaction. Now, in the complex reaction, the number of reacting species are large. So, all the reacting species cannot react simultaneously with each other, or we say that the reacting species are not reacting at once or not reacting efficiently with each other. That's why the reaction is taking place in a number of steps. Of these different steps, some steps are fast while others are slow. Here you can see the first step is slow and the second step is fast. Means in complex reactions there are both type of reaction in which slow and fast reactions take place. Now our reaction mainly depend on the slowest step. For example, if I have to publish a book and I will give 10 pages to each candidate to type. So basically my publication of book depend on that person typing speed which is the slowest one. जब तक जो बंदा स्लो है वो मुझे पेजेस टाइप करके नहीं देगा, मैं अपनी बुक पब्लिश नहीं करवा पाऊंगी, बाकी चाहे कितनी ही जल्दी दे दे. So means our reaction depends upon the slowest step. Now rate determining step क्या होता है? The slowest step of the complex reaction on which the rate of a reaction depend is called rate determining step. Means that step on which our reaction rate depend is called the rate determining step. So what is rate of a reaction? The change in concentration of a reactant or a product with the passage of a time per liter of the solution is called rate of a reaction. Why I am saying change in concentration of a reactant or a product? Because at initial our molecules of reactant are large in amount, but the molecule of product is zero. But with the passage of time, our reactant molecules start giving product. Means the reactant molecules start decreasing and the product molecules start increasing. Means with the passage of a time there is a change in concentration of a reactant or a product, because the reaction concentration start decreasing and the product concentration start increasing, and rate of a reaction is given by R is equal to 1 by A dA by dt with negative sign if the reactant is there. Here D represent change and A in bracket represent molar concentration of A, or generally we say concentration divided by dt, means change in time. And if we are finding for product, we write 1 by P dP by dt. So here positive sign is used because the positive sign shows the increase in the concentration of a product and the negative sign shows decrease in the concentration of a product. Now, what is the unit of a rate of a reaction? The rate of a reaction unit is mole per liter per second if it is in liquid state, and atm per second if it is in gaseous state. Now, the rate of a reaction is always positive. Means because the reaction is always in progress, that's why the rate of a reaction is positive. But with the passage of a time, the concentration of a reactant goes on decreasing and the concentration of product goes on increasing. Means जैसे जैसे हम टाइम इंक्रीज होगा जो मेरे रिएक्टेंट के मोलिक्यूल हैं वो कोलाइड होंगे और प्रोडक्ट के मोलिक्यूल में कन्वर्ट होंगे. बट हम सपोज वी टेक अ कंटेनर. सो क्या होगा, जो मेरे रिएक्टेंट के मोलिक्यूल पहले कोलाइड हो रहे थे अब उनके बीच में प्रोडक्ट के मोलिक्यूल्स भी आ गए. तो रिएक्टेंट के मोलिक्यूल अब उतने एफिशिएंटली कोलाइड नहीं करेंगे जितने कि वो पहले कर पा रहे थे बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रेजेंस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट मोलिक्यूल इन बिटवीन देम. दैट व्हाई द स्पीड ऑफ रिएक्शन इज डिक्रीजिंग. Means the rate of a reaction does not remain constant throughout the course of a reaction. Hence, we are using the term like average rate of a reaction or instantaneous rate of a reaction in simply the rate of a reaction. Now, there are graphs showing the change in concentration of a reactant product in both product and a reactant. So this graph represents concentration of a reactant with the time. So initial our reactant concentration is high, but with the passage of a time increasing, our reactant molecules goes on decreasing. We always represent it in the form of curve and not in the form of straight line. Here, this graph represents the concentration of a product. Initially, when the reaction doesn't start, our concentration of product is zero. But with the passage of a time, when the reactant molecules start converted into product, our product concentration starts on increasing. Now, this graph represents both reactant and the product concentration. Here, this point represents the equilibrium. Means equilibrium is attained in our reaction. So, this point is an equilibrium point. Means this is the point when the reactant molecules start converted into product, but at the same time our product molecules get converted into reactant. Here, it seems that the reaction stops, but in actuals our reaction doesn't stop. Means there are some reactions in which all the reactant molecules do not get converted into product, but equilibrium is attained in those reactions where reactant got converted into product, but at the same time our product is converted into reactant. So next is average rate of a reaction. Average means a particular period of a time, interval of time. The change in the concentration of a reactant or a product in a particular interval of a time per liter of the solution is called average rate of a reaction. Means we are talking about a time period. For example, 7:15 to 7:30 pm. हमारी इस टाइम पीरियड के दौरान रिएक्शन का रेट क्या था? Means I am talking about the interval of time from 7:15 to 7:30 pm. Here is the example. From the given graph, calculate the average rate of a reaction between the interval 5 to 15 minutes. In actual, so we have to calculate the average rate of a reactions between 5 to 15 minutes. So what we do, we see that at 5 our concentration of a reactant is 0.03. At 15 our concentration reaction is 0.012. So average reaction of a calculate by x2 minus x1 divided by t2 minus t1. means 0.03 minus 0.012 divided by 50 minus 5. We get our answer 0.0018 mole per liter per minute. Here we take minute because time is given in minute. Second, instantaneous rate of a reaction. The change in the concentration of a reactant or a product at a particular instant of a time per liter of the solution is called instantaneous rate of a reaction. Instantaneous rate of a reaction means at a particular instant of a time. Means now I'm saying that at 7:15, what is the rate of a reaction? I'm not giving any interval period of a time, but I'm talking about at a particular instant. So, to measure the rate of a reaction at a particular instant of a time, we must choose so much small interval of time that during which the rate of a reaction is almost constant. मीन्स मैं इतना क्लोज इंटरवल चूज करती हूँ लाइक 0.01 to 0.012 इतना क्लोज करती हूँ कि उस टाइम पे जो मेरा रिएक्शन रेट है वो कांस्टेंट पाए. The rate of a reaction generally means the instantaneous rate of a reaction. If I'm talking about a rate of a reaction, so in general, I'm talking about instantaneous rate of a reaction. Now, how to determine the instantaneous rate of a reaction? Now, this reaction rate is found by drawing a tangent to a curve at a point corresponding to desired moment of time. For example, I have to find the rate of a reaction at this time period. So what will I do? I put a straight line and get the concentration, and at this point we draw a tangent straight. Then the slope of the tangent gives the rate of a reaction. और जो मेरा इसका स्लोप है वो मुझे रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन देगा. टेंजेंट का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? पंडित बद्री प्रसाद हर बोले. So P by B. Here this is our perpendicular, this is our base, and this is our hypotenuse. Means the slope of tangent is given by P by B. So delta X by delta T gives us the rate of a reaction. Means that the delta X by delta T tell us about our rate of a reaction. So, in conclusion, we study that what is chemical kinetics, what is reaction, types of a reaction, spontaneous, non-spontaneous. Now, the spontaneous further divided into moderate, fast or slow reaction, and elementary reaction, complex reaction, mechanism of a reaction, rate of a reaction. Now, what is average rate of a reaction? What is the instantaneous reaction of a reaction? Thank you.